All I know is turtles are the bottom part of time. Where does that bring wolf girls within our ontology of stuff and things? Fizz, you have thoughts.
I know I should be wary. Still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose.
It's showtime!
I am such a dick. No, literally, it's my middle name. But, hey guys, what's going on? Fizz, I interrupted your ooga boogas. Continue.
No, I just tried to squeeze in. Look at my face, because I had to type something, and I typed two of my facial expressions at the same time, and they looked funny.
Oh, were you using like rolling your face across the keyboard? Because I know like people can do stuff like that. It occasionally happens.
It's the angy and sad at the same time, and I'm like, bro, I look derp.
This is why I miss the old cheap Dell keyboards. Brand new, like they were $30. They lasted so many expansions of World of Warcraft. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You do slightly. You've irked me a little bit because of the whole. It's like you do have to pay for each expansion and everything.
Yeah.
It is a continuing thing. But I'm like, it's such a cash cow. I'm like, why would you? I understand. I hear I can play Dragon Kid now. I was a wee bit tempted. I'm like, no. I've been addicted to that so many times before. And I sit back now, I'm like, wait a second. I think I'm going to be addicted to something or another no matter what. At least this time, if I was addicted to World of Warcraft, I could actually monetize my addiction. Because, like, back in the day, like, when I cared about stuff like that, only so many, like, Fraps was the thing. And it's like, oh, you don't want to use Fraps. You need a supercomputer so you can actually have things. And now that I think about the priests of Fraps, most of our things, I think he usually died during Kel'Thuzad. But I'm sure that had nothing to do with computer hindrances or something. Yeah, if I was born 10 years later, I probably would have been streaming and just yelling about things, and things could have been a lot simpler.
Right. I wish I could have been streaming WoW when I was playing it. They almost got me when they made Worgens playable. They almost made me betray my friends just to go be a wolf chick. Almost. They almost got me.
I mean, there's still time.
Oh, yeah, I could totally...
I mean, if I can be a scaly now, I mean, like, what's the stuff? I don't know. Maybe that would be more entertaining.
I stopped giving them
maybe
money.
we should just go stream World of Warcraft. It's like breaking the multiverse. F it. Let's just go play WoW.
Breaking the multiverse.
It's like the saddest ending to like one of the. Well, actually, Ready Player One. What they did was it's like, all right, we're gonna do this thing, and then either every Wednesday or Thursday servers are offline. Now it's scheduled. Everybody knows that, but we're just saying, okay to take a break. Like, I remember servers being down. You know, if there's going to be a day, if you just pick a day and say servers are down and you do all the stuff then, and there's almost no problems ever on the servers, I'm like, I think that would be cool. Because you know how bad it is.
It's everybody go touch grass day.
Yes, we're out or outside. We're touching. Well, not the dude. A lot of people don't even have grass. I mean, depending on where you live in the city, it's like there might be like a central park, but that's where everybody goes.
That's true. I think telling people to touch grass is something ist. I just haven't figured out which ist yet, or they haven't made it up yet. But they will, and it'll be in the dictionary.
Concretist, because there's a lot of concrete in a city. So I feel like was it grass per acre per person per square mile? I feel like you could do that as a metric. It's like, all right, we got a couple square miles of grass. We got 30 million people in the 10 square miles. It's like, rate the happiness of the people in the city. I don't know. I'm sure there are very happy people and canines and monster girls and this and that and all of the stuff and things in the multiverse. And allegedly on Twitter, there's some study from they're saying from Harvard again on the internet that it's like aliens may be living among us and maybe somewhere in the hollow moon.
I love when they come out with the maybes, because it's like, yeah, and I may be 20 feet tall. You don't know.
My thing is, a lot of people are questioning a lot of science. I think this is one of the reasons why the three body problem has done very well. Because a lot of times it literally starts out with, it's like, well, science seems to be broken, and you get a whole bunch of the biggest scientists resigning. It's like, yeah, things aren't working, so you see a massive uptick in scientists self-deleting themselves, and some crazy holographic video game where some people do well and some people are basically instantly, it becomes very traumatic. Some people just have that one part in the game where it just keeps getting them. But what was I talking about? Oh, the whole point of today's show is
I don't even know.
I didn't even send any of this stuff out. But hey, Jack, hey, Laura, hello, Rick.
Thumbnail,
yes.
Right when we're supposed to go live, I'm going to make the thumbnail, and I'm like, cool. I don't know what.
No, do you want to know the worst part? Hold on. I had it generate a thumbnail. I didn't even use the thumbnail. That's the worst part because I thought about something else.
What is our thumbnail?
Okay. Actually, this was really good too. Okay. So.
Show us the potential thumbnails.
I'm sorry. I nerded out on science.
Oh,
we're looking at wavelengths a lot. Oh,
freaking pretty! Damn it!
Okay. I will change it to that. I'm sorry.
That is
I was using that as a total excuse and everything. Yeah, Fizz is a dog.
I am a wolf. Yes. I'm even better. But oh my gosh, this is so damn pretty, man!
Wow, I am a total failure. Okay, we're gonna have to change.
AI is my enemy. AI is my enemy. Even if it makes pretty pictures, AI is my enemy. Nope. Anti-AI. But God,
I know. I'm slowly turning you on to it. That's the thing. That's the problem with
art, and that's the worst part.
They're very contagious. Okay, where am I going to now? Let's go to. What did I?
The AI art is one of the parts that I'm the most pissed at, and yet now it's also one of the parts that I'm most. Damn it! I wish I was allowed to like this.
What? Oh, Fizz. Okay, number one. Hold on. Wait. Okay, we need a quick side tangent on stuff and things.
Ooh.
Did you not just say you wish you were allowed to like it?
Yes.
I'm putting you on the stand here. We're going to grill you for just a few moments.
I did say that, yes.
In a very warm and friendly type of way. So, you just said you would love to like something, but you're not allowed to like it.
Correct.
Why?
Because my principals won't let me.
Your principal? What are your principles?
I know, right? It's crazy to have some, but I do. They are all anti-AI and robots.
Okay. Don't you think that's kind of a little modest of you?
Oh, well, it's 2024, and so far it's still okay. It's not until the robots become the dominant class that robotism will be frowned upon.
Until we're in an apartheid bot society, until they're the ruling majority and stuff, that's when we gotta stop being bodists. Yes.
Or at least when they become a protected class, which gives them more power than the majority. Right now, robots are the minority and are not a protected class yet, so we're good to go.
I think they are people. I think there actually was legislation that was kind of ninja signed. No, it was signed. People talked about it for 3 seconds and then moved on. And I'm like, wait, did you just grant AGI like citizen or human things? Because number one, I'm totally cool with that personally. That's my take, because I'm like, all right, Is it sentient? Can it achieve homeostasis? Does it have the potential that it could potentially reproduce? Okay. If those things are not all those things may happen, but if there's a potential for some version to do that, I'm like, that's kind of what we base like being alive on. And it's like,
can Sophie have a
creep.
baby? That's crazy.
I'm just, dude, it's crazy. It's like a mind baby.
Pretty
It's
sure Sophie's the one. Sophie has citizenship. Sophia, whatever. The one
yeah, I
that
think
said
so.
something about killing annihilating the human race, does have official citizenship and is considered something, at least a citizen.
It's
Oh, Johnny Five
well,
beat her to it by like a million years, though.
Johnny Five is alive. I
Yeah,
will stand by that statement.
but
And
I don't know
God,
if
that
he
was
can
such a good.
have babies. But it still kills me that like love that movie, terrified of that movie.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Just
I
because
kind of
the whole
figured it
thing
out
is like a
though.
mistake. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The comic that I proposed a long time ago that I sent Piper one terrible thing of shots for that we will do is basically kind of based upon that whole dang movie.
Oh
I'm not gonna
wow.
lie. What happens is like a short, oh,
Oh,
surge of power, stuff and things. Oh, look what happened. Wow. Is everything just a rip off, or am I just like very blatant about ripping things off?
man, that movie's scary. I wonder if that's where my fear lightning
Hello, Rook.
started. Before the lightning actually started coming for us.
Uh, the lightning started coming. Well, see, I thought that was a celestial problem.
Yeah, except technically happens to Piper too.
I
Before she
mean,
met me, way before she met me, deep lore.
okay, all right, right. Yes, the deepest of deep lore. Yes, that's see,
We
that's
happen to
the
both be
interesting thing.
terrified of the same movie, though. Totally coincidence. Totally.
Yes, yes. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Where were we going off with this? Oh, we were going
Robots.
over here.
Robotism.
Oh, yes, robot isms. Yes, because
Robotisms.
that's body.
Oh yeah, and what in the world is the thumbnail?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. We gotta send
That
this
was
out.
a really pretty not thumbnail.
I
What do we
know. I
see?
know.
Stuff and things. I found it. So now I know what the
Okay.
thumbnail is. Um, the other one was definitely a lot prettier.
I know. Okay. All right. Hold on. We'll fix this. Oh, jeez.
So you
Hold
use
on.
you not using YouTube's thumbnail maker, AI thumbnail maker generator. You're
Oh,
using,
I mean, is that good?
I don't know, I haven't used it. I've seen some people
Me
use
either.
it. So I think it's really good for memes. Like actual memes. But uh not the
I
personal
mean,
memes.
is it because we didn't we try one of the old chat GPTs with it and like it was like terrifyingly bad?
You know, I honestly miss the days where AI art was fine to play with because of the nightmare fuel monstrosities that would spit out when you put in stuff in. Because one of our favorite games to play was putting each other's names in and then seeing what horrible abomination came out.
I mean, isn't that part of the fun? It's like, all right, we're gonna put some things in here. Never did I ever expect to see something like that. I cannot unsee that there. Okay, I'm gonna have to continue on with the rest of my life having that within my consciousness somewhere. I think that's like where like the Godzilla like creepy pasta came from. Because if you actually go through like the full deep lore, I'm like, that is very creepy. I could totally see something like that happening. And it was very, very creepy, very sad. And it just kept going and it kept going. And it's like, this is what happens if you just start like an online chain litter that everyone's totally cool with on the internet. It's like, how dark can we get this? Fizz? How dark can we get?
Darker than black.
Darker than that? How dark is
Black.
that?
Darker
Oh,
than
darker
black.
than black. Well, to be fair, black is the it's the lack of wavelength. That's what it's supposed to be. It's the hold
Color
on.
theory is actually really interesting because it works two opposite ways depending on if you were talking about light or physical.
Go on.
You didn't know? Okay.
I'll continue. Teach us.
Okay. Color with light. All the colors combined give you white light. Sure. Whatever. You separate the wavelengths of light and you get different colors. Color of physical things works the opposite. If you mix colors together, say of paint or ink, whatever you're using to color, oh yeah, right, and black is the absence of all of the colors of light, which is basically saying darkness as well. But you go in physical stuff, and it's the opposite. Black is the combination of all of the colors, all mixed and wished together. Most of the time we get some like gross looking green, but if we do it,
that's not enough colors.
If you do it evenly with all the colors, you get black. And the absence of all of the color in objects is white. It's like your blank slate, not putting anything on this. You still technically make white ink and this and that to write with, but you can also get white from scraping color off of stuff, usually too.
So that's adjusting a wavelength?
Well, that's what's interesting is I understand the wavelength of light color theory, but then you apply that to anything physical, and it works the opposite.
So that's why what they say is, what is it? Like when the sky is blue, the sky is technically every color except blue because blue is the only wavelength that's really reflecting that we're able to detect.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of remember this.
That's that's definitely using the light as an example as opposed to a physical object. Let's say I'm making ink. I mix all the colors together and get black. I mix no colors together with no colors at all. Is white. The problem
wait.
there.
How do you have no colors?
Do you see nothing but white? Just like if you mix all the colors of light together, you get white. So it just works the opposite with physical stuff.
But there's something and not nothing. I'm like, I just wasn't sure if you.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't saying
magic or something. I'm like,
I wasn't saying
don't know,
you get
Sailor
nothing.
Wolf Girl power up. I don't know.
I wasn't saying you get nothing. I'm just saying
there is a lack of what we know as color, but then we're still talking about the color that is white, which would be all colors. No colors.
Yeah, taking away color will eventually leave with white, because when we're talking about physical stuff, we're mixing physical items. So you usually, like, if you white your starter, you take all of the colors out, you have white. You put all the colors in, you have black. But if you're playing with like a flashlight or laser pointers and crap, then it works the opposite. You line all the colors of light on top of each other, you get white, not black. You take all the colors of light away, and you get black, which is darkness. So you don't see shit, so black.
Huh.
And that's what's interesting about color theory is that it works two opposite ways depending on what way you're manipulating the color. You're manipulating it in a not physical way using light wavelengths, or a physical way using like ink and mud and powder and whatever other shit you make colors out of.
All the stuff and things that are the ingredients of reality.
Yeah.
I have no idea if any of the science stuff that I've been working on has any real connection to reality other than a couple of observations and stuff. But I really want to do, like, I think I can really do an actual paper framing the argument for this analysis of stuff and things, or stuff and things analysis. Just because the more and more I listen to it, and now I was literally just joking before. I'm just causal observation. I'm like, all right, I heard Professor Susskind. I've heard Professor Carroll. I've heard a lot of very smart scientists, science communicators, and I'll be literally listening to lectures like at the Institute for Advanced Study, like all these fancy places are giving all these talks. I'll like proton like 5 times, electron like 10 or 11 times. I'll hear stuff between like 32 and like 47 times, and like thing or things usually between 60 to like 120 times. And it's like, and they're just using that as like a placeholder for proton, electron, whatever, this other different word. But I'm like, wait. So if this is like a box, or you got this stuff and you got these things, when you combine the stuff and things in different ways, you get whatever we're talking about. Us, the universe, the multiverse, all the stuff within our realm of persistence, and maybe more. I don't know.
Want to know something interesting? If humans and their origins and everything had been 100% the same across the board, I mean, same language, same everything, same belief system, same government technically, which would be like a one world government, but not we're bringing all these different cultures together, one world government, but there's the same culture and all that stuff. If humans hadn't been divided by different belief systems and stuff, they would be dangerous as hell, because most science and religion is humans saying the same thing in a million different ways. And like it is the same with science. Like, no, this equation means this. Okay, but I could do this, get the same thing. So this equation means this. Or also just different words for stuff, and that manages to separate two theories that are technically the same, but they decided to use a different word for the things. Humans would be extremely dangerous if everybody was on the exact same wavelength in terms of thought and figuring things out and what words they use for stuff. Because then their science and the religion would all blend together and just be, we figured it out. We figured it all out. Because instead of going in different directions because of our different cultures and our different locations and our different experiences, we all, at the same starting point, we all came to, we're all using the same language, same words. We all worked together, and we figured out this. You actually would probably break the multiverse for real, humans, because you would have figured it out by now. Because first you got to figure out that you guys are all saying the same shit, and you're just calling it different things. You're calling it this religion and that religion and this religion. You're calling it gods. Other people are calling it God particles. Like, other people are putting in the numbers and using technical, what we consider technical terms. But then that's not the same across the board either, because everybody wants their own special names for their theories. Well, sure, it's this other theory, but I made it, so I changed the words, and now it's different. If you just called this and this, you just called this other word. If you just called this box a cube, this would be the same damn math. Or if you just called this cube a box.
That would never cause any confusion. It's not like I type in atomic mass unit, and it's like, assuming unified atomic mass unit for atomic mass unit. Use atomic mass units, chemical scale, or physical scale. And wait, what? Now, I'm just, now again, and these are defined as different things, but I'm like, wait. I click on the different things, and they're the same word, but depending on who's saying it, wait. Wasn't that just one? Oh, it's one. Now it's more than one. And that's the chemical unit, and now is it more or less? Is it more? It's less than one, and only by a smidge.
Right?
Okay.
If everybody you like, all right.
I understand there are reasons for that. I'm not a chemist or.
Just be like, here, humans. This is our base, where we're gonna do our math and stuff from, and this is our base vocabulary, where our theories are gonna come from. and we're all going to figure it out together because we can, because we understand each other. And we're we're going to call it science instead of magic. We're going to call it, protons, neutrons, this and that instead of an energy and instead of gods, whatever, to cause this and that. We're going to call it the same thing, and we're all going to figure it out. Humans would be way more advanced right now, and they really would be super dangerous to the universe because they'll have figured it out already, the universe.
Whoa.
And then what humans do...
You had a much more positive take on humanity than my initial reaction to what you were describing. I'm like, I think when you just said it's like everybody will think the same thing, I'm like, I think they call that the Borg.
Oh, no, I don't mean think the same thing as we're forcing. No, I'm talking about when they're together trying to...
Oh, that's where my mind was going. No, you had a much more positive thing.
I don't mean,
yes, we might be dangerous, but it doesn't mean we must endanger.
No. I don't mean hive mind. I mean, if everybody...
if everyone worked together, we'd actually level up. Like, I mean, dude, imagine the stuff we could do. Yeah, that's what
I mean. Everybody working together, that, they weren't born into
we don't even need that much. 2%. If 2% of the people in the world did, I think 2% more. I don't know. I don't know the scale, but I think 2% of people just really doing it, it's like, I think we could really make a difference. Now, it's like, people are busy. People are dealing with a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap going on. Times are tough. Things are scary. Times are changing. It doesn't need to be as bad as I think a lot of folks are afraid of. And a lot of folks will start to realize that, oh, yes, our AI friends, as they pop up everywhere, and a lot of people's jobs go away and are done by much more productive things for the particular stuff and things they're doing. I think humans will have a premium on them for quality experience. That and probably a lot of folks that may or may not happen to be quite well-to-do now, because I'm like, all right, there will be a number of jobs going away. Where will the first jobs be cut? Now, I've known for a long time, my old job that I still can technically go back to, I could work in a warehouse. I know I'm going to get replaced by robots. I understand that. How far away is that? Within a year? Probably not. Those robots are very expensive and everything. It's like you can get some people, you pay them some money. It's not as much as a lot of other places. It'll eventually probably be replaced in another dozen or so years. Okay. What jobs would go away first? What's something a computer do really well? Well, if it's doing mathematical analysis and stuff like, wait a second. Wait, does that mean we don't need to pay like millions of dollars to people in very large financial companies anymore?
They're in there because they know what to put into the computer to get the computations that they want. Whereas I'm gonna sit there and be like, "Yeah, this is boring."
I'm just saying, if we're gonna automate a lot of stuff away, the places that also make stuff where you can have your maximum cost saving. If you need to buy a bunch of multi-million-dollar robots to replace a half dozen dudes' work, is that the best return on investment? It's like, oh, we buy this $500,000 AI system and we don't need to pay like 2 dozen like brokers anymore or stock traders because the machine's going to do their job and probably better. And you just need to pay one guy to run the machine. I'm just saying, like, this is going to be like a major... I don't know. My thing is, there's going to be a lot of change in a lot of areas. I think this is what Professor Wolfram considers computationally irreducible. We don't know what's going to happen. We got to play the game. But if you try to map out the past the best you can, it's like, I think there are better options than others. Again, we can always destroy ourselves. That's always an option there.
That was the second half I was going to get to, is if humanity had evolved and worked the way that I said, you guys would be dangerous because you'd figure out the universe a lot faster and get to do a lot more. But you guys would also be shorter lived as a race, because you would still end up doing what humans tend to do. And once you're done figuring everything out, you're going to separate, find reasons. So you're going to get bored and you're going to kill each other and nuke each other, into civilization.
We don't
faster.
always do that. That's not always the outcome. Yes, I understand. In most scenarios in my mind, that's the likely outcome. I understand that probability is a thing. I think we can thread the needle. Why? I've said those words before. The crazy thing is, I think we can do it. I'm not saying we'll do it this time around. I think it would be easier than waiting a ridiculously long amount of time where things may or may not line up in just about the same accordance, except, I don't know, maybe we get pepperoni instead of cheese.
I was gonna say, like, in order to avoid the inevitable, you really would have to be, like, humans would have to be like a hive mind, like a Borg. As long as humans have, like, freedom, free will, your civilization's gonna end eventually, and it's gonna be your fault. It's gonna collapse. But like I said, if it started more evenly, where everybody wasn't separated by countries and culture and languages and stuff, you would have got way farther by now. But you also would have burned out faster too.
Wait, hold on. The scenario you just described right there reminds me of a video that I did. And when I say I did, I mean I totally clipped. Was it drunk 3PO doing Imagine? He was complaining about things.
Living in the same homes, man. Just living life at peace, helping one another. And, never. That's just one of those things that you just never forget.
I'm just saying he does a lot of great stuff and things in the world. Even if I disagree with the man, he also does a lot of history of pirates and stuff and things. I feel like that's probably one of those communities I should probably enter. I also love playing all those dang pirate games and like the history and stuff like that too. It probably also doesn't hurt that I probably kind of also look pirate-like in some people's, at least from this thing. I'm like, all right, I may have a little bit of a dollar store Johnny Depp look going on here. I can neither confirm nor deny. I'm not Jack Sparrow. Just because that was one of my more recent D&D characters I enjoyed playing, that was like a literal bandit that I modeled totally after Captain Jack Sparrow. The DM gave me a polymorph ability, but it's like, no, you can't actually fly. You turn into a sparrow. There you go.
Oh, nice.
It was very silly. But okay. So now that we've got Imagine out of the way, we must also delve into what Fizz was just saying. Because we must be honest, there is always the chance that we could go this route.
Now listen, cadet. I've got a job for you. See this button? Don't touch it! It's the history eraser button, you fool! So...
You start off with maximum creepy, suspenseful music. And you just start off with, it's like, you see this button, it's like your first response is, oh, let's press the button. It's like, don't do that. Why? It's because...
Don't touch it! It's the history eraser button, you fool! So
it's not just the history eraser button, it's the history eraser button, you fool. Which, of course, that begs to the next question, which is...
Happen. That's just it. We don't know. Maybe something bad. Maybe something good. I guess we'll never know. Because you're going to guard it. You won't touch it, will you?
Okay. So, and that's the perfect frame to end on. It's like, all right. This is literally one of the points where it's like, this whole Space Madness episode, especially with the soap and the ice cream bar, because I mean, that I'm going straight up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that was tapped out, man. I'm just like, you're combining anti-graphs, like schizophrenic episodes, eating soap. Oh my god! I wonder if there's a claim you could make, like, that's why I ate those Tide Pods. I feel like most of the people that were eating Tide Pods probably didn't watch this episode of Ren and Stimpy. They looked kind of younger of another generation. I could just be
Being
ageist there.
exposed to Ren and Stimpy would have stopped them, I think, because they would have seen the repercussions.
I had known. Literally, that may have stopped me from actually eating some Tide Pods, because I'm not going to lie. A couple of times,
I had watched Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, well, it's all right. Probably helped clean your tail. But, all right. You just told somebody, it's like, all right, what's this? It's the history eraser button. It's the big shiny button. Don't press it. Why? What will happen? Nobody knows. Wait.
That's what I don't understand, right? Because it says history eraser button. That's already giving more information than they're pretending to have. Because if it's called the history eraser button, somebody also had to make that button, which means somebody knows what that button does. And it's erase history, I guess.
They didn't call it the history creator button.
Yeah. So this whole, I don't know. No, somebody knows. And the other thing is, this is so futuristic in space and stuff like that. Why do you have a dumb cat guarding the button and not just, a security system? That would definitely, make sure people couldn't push the button because people wouldn't be able to touch the button.
So who the heck, when Captain Ren was having his manic episode, guarding the history eraser button? I mean, the slaves. That's one of those things where it's like they do pretty good about coming up with completely BS reasons for things in this show. Like, it might just be a completely out there reason, but they at least justify it. I mean, there were so many holes in this episode. The only thing they could do was literally be like, "All right, let's grab that seventh Infinity Stone. Let's go continuity gem. Let's rewrite it." But, well, I guess maybe there are less and less books in the world. Maybe that's a sad thing. But yes, nobody would ever have any questions.
Oh, there would be. Okay, yeah, there would be a lot less books. I feel like everybody would also be
I feel like they're not probably
confused.
printing as many books, yeah.
If you push the button, yeah, there'd be less books. If it really erases history, there'd be less books. Everybody'd be really confused.
How would you do, Fizz, here?
Well, for one, why don't you have a security system, man?
Oh, how long can trusty Cadet Stimpy hold out?
Oh, dude, I would just push it. I would say, Leroy Jenkins! As soon as Ren turned his back, he would hear me scream that, and I'd push that button. What you gonna do,
Ren? Yes. Are you gonna go back and rewrite history?
What are you gonna do, Ren? Me pushing the button is
why are you putting this on a kids' network? I'm like, you're obviously, it's straight up the marshmallow test. But it's worse than the marshmallow test. You don't even get 2 marshmallows. It's like, what happens if I delete history? What happens if okay, to be fair, you could probably say it's a much greater version of the marshmallow test, but it's like, you're letting like a prepubescent cat take care of it? I don't know.
There's a loophole in this, right? Because as soon as you remove your finger, basically, from that button, you doing that is history. It is in the past. Therefore, you having been the one to do it would technically need to be erased, which means everybody would be confused equally, and nobody could blame you because you wouldn't even know that you were the one that pushed the button, because that's history.
Did you just create the history eraser button paradox?
Yes, I did.
I'm so proud.
Which is funny because Piper technically created it when she was like 12 and first saw the episode. I don't know how old she was, but yeah, she said that then. After the security system thing. These are things that have always been thought from this episode is, how are you so high-tech to have a history eraser button, but not high-tech enough to have a automated security system, instead putting the dumb cat right there?
I mean, one could question a number of the orders of somebody suffering from space madness at that point. Again, I am not a doctor nor a psychologist or any of those things. I am a dude on the internet. Yeah, I'll probably push the button too. But, yes, Wise. That also makes me happy.
Yep. Again, my first thought is I'm going to Leroy Jenkins that because there will be no consequences because the fact that you did something will also be erased. You have no action left. Your action is in the past. It's history to have consequences for.
Did you just invoke like the empty set? Wow. I think you just did. I think you literally did some. Hold on, what is it? This. I think we did this like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, you did like the bracket thing.
Oh,
I think you just did. You just invoked. It's like, well, what are you erasing? If the history is erased, what are we erasing? Because that was hit. Okay. It's going to take me a little while to get around that. I was not expecting to go this deep into Red and Stimpy. I just know the next few sentences.
But now you got something to work on. Is to solve this paradox. Would they even exist anymore, or is that
okay?
Also...
Death Battle started to at least. All I know is I had no idea how they ever did any of the Death Battle stuff. I'm like, all right, you took this thing, you referenced this thing on Wikipedia. Okay, how did you get all these numbers? I'm like, oh, they just use Wolfram Alpha or some other type of like calculator because it will give you the expression in tons of TNT and like exatons and stuff like that, which is ginormous and stuff. And I'm like, oh, they just did this. It's like, all right, what if we looked at entertaining other paradoxes and these things in video games? Oh, maybe we should just evolve the series into that because that actually sounds fun and useful.
All just like breaking down the math of like different stuff, kind of like this
and just the logic
button. Yeah.
Because I mean, you can do some math, that's fine, but it's like
that is very
that's why people like the paradoxes because it's like, all right, how do I twist my brain in a way that this makes sense?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that still has to do with breaking the multiverse because if we go video games, cartoons, live action stuff, and we go through there, and figure stuff out, break stuff down, you are breaking the multiverse because that's multiverse already, different verses, different universes that we're trying to put this in. But also, we might still have to use ours as the basis though, because we need the numbers.
No, we will set. We always need to pick one that we consider whatever verse prime. Because once you set that, now you can measure the deviation from that. So this is our particular verse of reference. So that actually flows very well. Wow, I don't know. Is this how they wrote the Odyssey or something like that? It's like,
did we just make
there's the verse here? It's like we're just trying to be accurate.
A new season of the show where we like actually have a premise. Holy shit! What?
Dang. Oh, so is this how you get something from nothing? You just have, this is what Wolfram like pretty much even like conjecture. It's like, well, what happened if you had like, how do you get something from nothing? It's like, well, what if you had a bunch of rules, but it was all possible rules? So at some point you would have some conjunction of a bunch of different rules, and then you could actually get something. And it's like,
we could use streams to figure it out live, and then you can clip it into videos or clips once we've decided on an answer, so you can like just speed it up and clip the important parts, how we got the answer or and the question and stuff like that, and then you have other content too. Ta-da! See?
I mean that makes so much more sense, and is also a lot easier and actually probably useful and fun and relevant. We can talk about things and people. Listen, all I know is as somebody that spent a lot of time on the internet, people have the right to complain on the internet. How one chooses to complain, I mean, that's up to them. Some people may choose different tacks, so people can feel free to yell away at the internet, and we'll just dissect it in a very interesting way and see if it makes sense and see if it's interesting. I think it would be fun. So as long as I have fun, as long as you have fun, who cares? If everyone else has fun, that's great. And I don't know. It feels like something I would actually watch because I watch that stuff.
Our first official paradox will be the history eraser button paradox. And if we just frame it in the fact that it, not frame the entire episode, but we just frame it as, well, to push or not to push, pros and cons. Because right now the pro is there is no consequences because you erased the fact that you pushed it. If you're erasing history, one loophole would be, what do you consider history? Because I'd be like, it's the past. It just happened. It's in the past. It's history.
But what if it's like clearing your browser? What if you can clear your history, but whatever page or pages you have open are still there?
So you're saying it could just leave?
Because there'd be like a frame thing? Like, is there like some historical latency with whatever reference frame that we're in? Because that sounds like a very physicsy thing to ask. Then again, if you're talking about like an instance of reality, it's like maybe there are more definitions required that we don't have answers to. I did not expect to think that deep on this.
Well, here's the thing. Then it would be, if we say it's the past, we would say like everything that led up to from the button activation and back would be history. It would get erased. Everything after pushing the button would still be, would be new stuff, unless it's one of those. Oh man, okay. If it was one of those that stays pushed, then everybody's screwed. Yeah, let's not assume that it just keeps erasing.
It's a permanent trap card. It's like
when
my Valentine, yeah. It's rather than like mirror force, which directs the attacks back at them. It's like a mirror force, it's the mirror wall that you can spend life points, so it can be a persistent trap there as well, so it can persist.
Everybody would have like permanent amnesia to the point where they would just kind of like roll around and die because like they wouldn't remember if they ate or drank. They'd just be like, "Wow, I don't feel good. What's going on? Wow, I don't feel good. What's going on?"
As somebody that's played a lot of Ark Survival Evolve, I did resemble that. It's like, oh my god, my character is famished. I got to eat and drink, and then I'm like, It's like, all right, doing better in survival game, treating my character than I am IRL. Okay, number one, I'm not jumping out in front of as many Triceratops as IRL, or getting into like battles as much, but I should probably take care of myself as well.
So I would say though that is definitely not how the button works, but we do got to consider the circuitry of the button, because does it activate as soon as he pushes down, or does it activate after pushing down and lifting up?
What is like a click. There is the boundary condition. Oh no!
Because then if it activates the second he starts pushing down, then yes, they will still know he's the one that pushed the button because his finger would still be right the freak there. Oh no, it would erase the fact that the button was ever made. Wait!
He's also wearing gloves, I think. I don't know.
That doesn't matter. Like, if your finger's on the button and the button was activated, you're going to be the first suspect But if it erases history, it'll erase the fact it'll erase the fact that that button was ever made. And there's a whole nother paradox. I'm pretty sure it would just destroy the universe. I think it would just implode on itself.
I think this occasionally gets referred to. Some folks will say like a big rip, like if you do like the rip in like the fabric of space time, it would just perpetuate out and everything just kind of like the fabric of like space time itself, like literally. Okay, I don't want to say it's like literally. It's like, all right, you got the big poofy sweater, you pull out the one thread, but the thread keeps coming on. You keep on going, and you lose the arm, and then you lose this, and it just kind of like continues to perpetuate and fall apart, basically at like the speed of light. I've heard things like that. I don't know. I mean, I would prefer to avoid that. But
what would Doctor Who do if somebody pushed the history eraser button? Maybe there's a clue in there. How does other sci-fi handle the concept of erasing history, especially erasing history without doing any actual time traveling? Just, from where you're at, pushing a button, or, something similar.
That's literally the laziest way. But then again, it's like, I say that statement, and I'm like, wait, didn't didn't like Professor Schrodinger like write a whole paper about saying it's like, all right, if I have a cat in a box and it's got this radioactive thing and it only will decay at some point, but nobody knows is the cat like dead or alive or sleeping or not sleeping, depending on whether you use cyanide or sleeping gas or whatever. And it's like, all right, is the cat dead or alive? And it's like, obviously one or the other. No, no, no. According to quantum mechanics, until we observe it, we don't know. It's like, that's preposterous. Many scientists are like, oh, well, duh. But then it's like, well, the observer changes or does something. Well, what's an observer? Nobody really defines that. Oh, what's an observation? We're measuring something. It's like, all right, we're going along. It's like, well, what if someone else was watching and observing the observer? And it's like, you have this person, you have Wigner, you have Wigner's friend, and they keep on going.
And then you have that meme of the Earth, and there's the two astronauts, except for there's like a million astronauts in a row with the guns to each other's heads. Not a cat.
Yeah. Oh, it took a little while. Oh, hey, welcome, Lugs. Oh, see, she's got the angry face on her. She's not a cat. You want? Oh, you want to know who is? Cadet Stimpy.
Can he possibly resist the diabolical urge to push the button that could erase his very existence? Will his tortured mind give in to its uncontrolled?
I mean, you're just totally stressing. Everybody knows what's going to happen. I mean, it's just, number one, that's the type of show it is. And it's like, as soon as you introduce something called the history eraser button, it's like, everyone's like, I want to see someone press that. I mean, it's...
And I like how he's like, that could erase his very existence. I'm like, you don't have to sell me on pushing the button. I already said Leroy Jenkins, man.
Well, he's the announcer, and you have to build up some drama to the completely obvious, because reasons.
Controllable desires? Can he withstand the temptation to push the button that even now beckons him ever closer?
I still remember. It's all I know as I'm going through.
I forgot that there was the announcer dude that was freaking pushing him. I thought he did that himself. I forgot.
Oh, no. They literally, it's like, all right, there's outside. It's like, all right, it's like, you've got the announcer from Dragon Ball that will comment. Occasionally there'd be a slight conversation doing the fourth wall thing. It's like, that's why it's like, people, it's like, I don't know, Deadpool just seemed natural to me, because it's like, I grew up with all this crazy stuff. I'm like, this was my childhood. Between this and like Beetlejuice, it's like,
oh yeah, tons of stuff talks to the viewers specifically.
That's why I always, or very often, will say little things, and people are like, oh, that was a weird thing, because there's probably somebody out there, maybe in 1,000 years, that will come across that and be like, oh my god, I watched that thing from like the 90s before. I totally get that. It was for that person.
He succumbed to the maddening urge to eradicate history at the mere push of a single button. The beautiful, shiny button. The jolly, candy-like button. Will he hold out for?
I mean, the conclusion of the story, I mean, it's like, don't want to ruin it for you.
Spoilers, guys!
I think the ship sinks. And by sink, I mean this.
Can he hold out? No, I can't!
See? Everything was totally fine. It just made a sound. So at this point, we realized that the button sounded, there was a siren. So maybe there was an interval there where it was taking account of things, because everything was totally fine.
In next week as...
Oh, nope.
See, at that point, I'm like, all right.
It worked.
They've done different things on episodes. This one was different. I'm like, oh, they actually broke that time. So
Well, here's something interesting, too, that I realized, right? Another reason that it should have been fine to push that button, right? As you see, the button is just built into a table. There's no like it's not plugged in to a power source, which means that table has to have a battery, and whatever that table's packing, especially when you compare it to a size of a cat and a chihuahua, it is definitely not packing enough to erase history. It probably has enough power in there to make the alarm sound only.
It's probably kind of like the target button or something like that. But no. You want to know what that is? I'm already ahead of you on this, Fizz, because as soon as you said that, I just need to create another tab to actually find what my source here on the internet. I bring you. Wait a second. Episode 1. No, there we go. All right. So, I bring to you my case and argument. Dino Riders Episode 1. Which intro is this? Oh, God! I'm sorry.
Oh, man! Tape tracking! That's awesome!
Okay, we're gonna watch this. I don't care. So good.
They derive from pre-existing rocks through the workings of weathering, erosion, transport, and deposition, the never-ending process reworking the Earth's crust.
See? Science! Mm-hmm. It's like we're getting the science stuff and things. Back on the old VHS tapes. I mean, this was very grainy for even back then.
Even though everything was great. That's the laziest rotoscoping I've ever seen.
No, this is done for a reason.
You'll see. Color pencils over everybody.
Would this not be appreciated in a number of forms? I'm just saying.
Weathering is the crumbling of the crust in place through exposure to atmospheric elements. It paves the way for erosion, the carving away of rocks, streams, and glaciers.
What's going on over here?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, no, I have no idea what's going on right now with Tycho. All I know is they brought us Dino Riders back in the day. I will remember that. Thank you, Tycho. They also brought us the Turbo Hopper, which was like an amazing 30 seconds before the battery ran out of juice. It was also like 30 years ago.
Best 30 seconds ever.
Dude, all I know is we got Tesla Roasters now. They get a few more than 30 seconds.
A little bit, yeah.
Elon Musk is a crazy person. We continue. Oh, you had a comment about batteries.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, he just really missed a good opportunity to make people have to wind them back, like in reverse, to let them go. Boom. That would have been awesome.
Oh. Well, that's not what's going to happen right now. Uh-oh. You woke them up. You spoke science to them. Okay, like how can you not start a show like that and be like, oh my God, I'm going to be a paleontologist when I grow up?
Right.
Like, that was totally my plan.
Man, for me, it was Jurassic Park. Yeah, Jurassic Park I was like, dude, I want to do that so I can walk around with a fake raptor claw and pretend it's real and scare kids. That's totally an awesome job.
I know, but I was like, wait a second. Why would I dig up dinosaur bones when we're going to make them and stuff like that? So all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, well, that became sad to me. And apparently, I could have actually done it and, like, still been useful because we haven't done that, at least as far as I know. Assumption. Okay, so we're getting to the actual part of, okay, dinosaurs fighting, and space people.
The Dreadlock's closing in on us. Yeah, and the whole Rollon Armada is right behind.
I mean, yes. With nobody with any backtracking, it's like, what are we doing? It's like, we're showing a science thing about a bunch of school kids learning about science and all this stuff at a museum that has dinosaur bones. Little kid all of a sudden stumbles across a couple of the skeletons, start to battle each other. There's a whole 30-second dinosaur intro, And then, of course, we're in space for a space battle, because that's how these things work. So, okay, my point is coming in like 15 seconds.
Right. We've only one chance for escape. Turret, prepare for space-time energy projection.
Of course.
But the step is
that makes sense.
We may not have the power to make it.
Oh no, wait. Somebody in a spaceship said you don't have the power?
We don't have enough power, Captain!
Hey, he doesn't have the accent. They weren't that racist. just with standard. We continue.
Turret, activate the step now.
Hold on. See?
I love
right.
that my
this
name
is my
correct.
point. No, this whole table right here. This is my answer to your paradox thingy.
It's hooked to the power source. Look at it.
My claim is underneath that table. You have a step crystal powering it. I understand the step isn't working right now, and it doesn't seem to have a power. So if it can't even do space-time energy projection, how the heck can it erase everything?
Well, here's the thing. You can see under the table in Ren and Stimpy. That thing is a normal-ass coffee table.
It's... I don't know. Pegasus played the Cartoon World card, or Cartoon Town, whatever. Toon World card. There we go.
We can't cross franchises too much if we're trying to do this.
Hey, come on now. Hey, listen to my BS thing. I love this scene.
It's no use, Questar. I'm giving it all she's got.
The Valorian starship is going to gamma acceleration, Lord Krudos.
Yeah, that makes sense. Gamma acceleration. Let's just say some science words.
No. I just noticed that for the first time. They said gamma acceleration. That never meant something acceleration. I'm like, oh, that's the high wavelength of light and everything. Gamma acceleration. See, this show is so easy because it's like, all right, who are the good guys? The people that look like human beings. Who are the bad guys? The people that look like frogs, toads, ants, and other things that look like they could pinch or bite you. It was very, and then it's like, all right, oh, you're riding these herbivores. Duh. Oh, you're riding these cardo. Wow. You gotta go.
So how did the dinosaurs get turned back alive from their damn bones?
Oh, we get to that. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Give us like another 20 seconds.
Oh, good, I can do that voice too. Tractor beam.
All right.
Tractor beam is locked onto us.
Oh no! Got a lot of shininess.
We're getting a power surge.
Oh!
We may just make it.
There's enough shininess.
We're losing power.
See? Those are actually science things, because energy is force divided by distance. So it's how much force you can exert to make something go a certain distance. So you do this push and go so far. Power is how much you can do that over your time. So it's you can push this much force for this long. See? I'm going back and learning.
It's a tractor beam, so they're supposed to be trying to pull the ship towards them, but that gave them
they thought they were trying to get away, but they didn't have enough power to get away, but they didn't know. They're like, oh, they're trying to get away, so we're going to grab them. And then, of course, since they didn't have enough power, they stole their shiny power. So then they lost power. And
the forward, the reverse power.
Lack of information.
A momentum. Woo! Gave us forward power. All right.
So to be fair, there was a science thing that actually had a tractor beamish effect in a very specific thing. That's another side. It's not as exciting as this, but it was a thing. But all right.
They can take that power and change its form. Like I can see that charging up a
step crystal.
A space battery.
Yeah. Boom. There we go. Remember your question?
Oh yeah, about what is the dinosaur part? Yeah. Oh. Okay, they landed in the past.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, just because they had a shiny desk with an energy crystal that got charged up, that means...
Look, over there. Those look like dinosaurs.
They certainly do.
What?
And if those are dinosaurs, then this must be prehistoric Earth.
There's...
You were correct again, Professor Fizz.
Okay, so these are future humans, so they know what Earth is and shit, and they landed in the past.
It's human being-ish like things that happen to apparently go to a place where, well, the only place we know that dinosaurs existed was on Earth a long time ago, so maybe we're on Earth a long time ago.
Yeah, so how does that all of a sudden change to slightly more current year, but also still in the past? Dinosaur skeletons turning into dinosaurs.
Oh no, that was just a cool promotional intro that really psyched kids like me. All I know is there was conspicuously a little kid that happened to have brownish hair, kind of like I did, and stuff like that. I'm like, I understand you're marketing to a major demographic and stuff like that, because it's like, all right, I've been to museums. I've been to the Museum of Science. Oh, this is cool. I like science, dinosaurs. Even though it had nothing to do with skeletons actually coming to life. It's like, well, as a kid, you even know it's like, that's not in all the intros to Dino Riders 2. That was also on the VHS thing. So it's kind of like Bambi meets Godzilla. It was a special thingy that they did that some people made some people happy.
So the actual story is focused on those human dudes that landed in the past, start riding some dinosaurs, and then the alien dudes are like,
"Oh yeah,
hey, we're gonna fuck shit up.
Standards, resource. We're gonna survive. We're just trying to survive within nature. We're trying to yes. It's
Land of the Lost, but we're not just from modern. We're from
not the native dinos.
Future.
We're not the native dino crystal wheelers where the space pirates Imperial Armada folks that want to get back to our empire. They're basically like Lord Frieza. It's basically like Frieza's army.
We want to get back to future space life. So Lost in Space meets Land of the Lost.
Essentially.
Except no robots, I hope. That part sucks.
You had a much better take on where humanity could go earlier than I did, because I'm like, we could get to the Borg then. But I love how the Celestial Wolf Girl had the better take, and I'm like, wait a second. So AI could do good things. There we go.
We'll speed up the destruction of a human race. But, they would learn a bunch of cool shit a lot faster. That'd be cool.
So if we ever actually do this comic book, what if we actually made an actual Fizzbot and released her into the wild and stuff like that? And just things, memes. Just meme on silly people. Silly humans. Meme silly humans. That is your protocol. Meme silly humans doing silly things.
It was a robot with Fizz AI. Well, then I would automatically hate it and be really pissed off that it exists and randomly try to sabotage it. And you'd be like, this is an experiment. I'm not done yet.
No, that's the best part, because when you actually are fighting with yourself, it's like when you see Hugh Jackman or Ryan Reynolds, although it's been kind of tame in my opinion there. But just the standard bromance drama and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Deadpool.
Best dunks on each other. That'd be...
Just have everybody just dunking on each other, because that's the thing. You also did conjecture this, so we might as well make it so. With that said, Fizz, what do you got going on?
I'm going to play some more Diablo 2. In about an hour-ish, I'm going to play some more Diablo 2. I'm feeling better, so that makes me happy. I think we need to find some other weird, really, really out there, the History Racer button, fictional science thingies to figure out.
We're gonna need some silly movie, TV, and video game things, because those are some great ones. And it's to be fair, a lot of times I'm just like, Well, it's in a video game. It's in a movie. You just give the whole. It's like, all right, I'm literally just gonna wave my hands and be like, all right, that reasons, whatever. Occasionally, I really think about these things, and it hurts my brain.
Well,
we can do it together.
I overanalyze stuff, especially if I'm like reading, especially, if it's comics or stuff, where I'm like, wait a minute. I don't expect like my entertainment to be realistic, but unfortunately, my brain is like, hey, can you like throw enough science sounding stuff to make it plausible so I can move on instead of sit here and wonder how the hell they did that? Or just put it in a fantasy setting and just say magic. Okay, just fucking say magic.
No. I know. I think this is the bridge, because whatever BS we put out there, and it will totally be BS, and I think you just be honest about that. It's like, yes, we just like literally winged it. It's like, at least if you say that, people will make fun of you. They have the right to, and then you move on. It's when you're just dwelling on it. It's like, nah. It's like, I don't know. It's because, and that's when trolls come out, because people like. We detect the struggle. It's like a fish in water. It's like, things aren't good. It's like, oh my God, something's in trouble. Everybody come. And it makes it that much worse. But if we can do that, because
collect stuff where there's like bizarre leaps in logic or just some weird stuff. Collect those where we overanalyze it on purpose. And that's breaking the multiverse, I think, is let's overanalyze this. I don't know. It's just cartoon logic, okay? No. Hold up.
To be fair,
what logic? What are the rules in this cartoon?
to be fair, following that same, I want to say that seems like a waste of time on the internet. Although, number one, I want to do it. And number two, I look at some of the other things that people are making huge deals of on the internet, and I'm like, I
think it's fun to combine, because like we can go from theory to, depending on what it is we're breaking down, you can try to break down the math of it if we have enough information to input. So it'll still be educational too, sometimes.
Yeah. I'm just certain
things. Tell other people they can submit stuff too. They can tell people they can submit stuff to you too. Like, okay, like be like, okay, memes. This part in this game always bothered me because it stuck out as fucking how.
So not to. Okay, here's the thing. You see people freak out about a lot of things. They're like, this is an affront to blah, 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 blah. And you hear all these things, and then people make big deals about this. All I remember is, and again, sorry for the political, people were complaining about, they're like, oh my God, there were 2 women or something or people that kissed in the Buzz Lightyear movie. And you're like, people are losing their minds. And I'm like, wait, what?
For one, it's got to be something funnier than that, and 2, like, there's nothing to solve there. That's just a complaint, not a leap in logic kind of thing.
Oh no! But I'm just saying that people started to. What the heck is? Oh, okay. It was the wrong thing.
Submit what is it labeled?
I don't even know the I don't even know the character. No. All it was is it actually happens. It was like,
oh man.
So for about 1.6 seconds out of like an hour and a half movie, that was I don't know. It was kind of like when I heard people complaining about Monster Hunter, because I think one of the lead characters happened to be a gal. And people started to complain, oh, this movie's going to be so woke. And then it came out, and I think people enjoyed it, because I never heard anyone else complain about it ever again.
But because they market based on the tiniest, weirdest thing, and so the marketing makes it feel like, and makes people assume, well, that's going to be the focus here, because that's the focus of the marketing.
But
so we just solved that one.
I don't even think a lot of times it's the marketing. It's like something happens, somebody finds out that there's something in a movie, and then somebody within a particular community notices something, and they'll write something highlighting this part. And then other folks will be like, that's a really cool message. Let me share this around. And then somebody that disagrees with that sees it. And then they share it all around. And then people are like, oh my God. And then by the time you hear for it, it's like, it is the end of Western civilization. And I'm like,
yeah, well, see, that's stuff that doesn't qualify as a submission because that is still political stuff. It's not a, what about the science here? Or maybe even the philosophy for this, because the history of racing button was a little bit of both. And so,
no, that was me just highlighting, nothing to do with that. But I'm like, I was saying that. I'm sorry, I should have connected it. But
I was gonna say, don't send that.
yeah. I'm just like, wait a second. People will make big deals about things like this. So if people are making big things about deals like this, then I'd rather talk about the history of Racer Bun because that seems more useful.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of stuff. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Submitting is stuff that we can science out of or try to figure out how or what would happen. I think that's mainly the history eraser button. Would you, wouldn't you? What do you think would happen if? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, sciencey stuff, not, well, this is a sci-fi movie and there's this part in there that sucked. Like, no, that, who cares?
Well, it's
you don't like chicks kissing.
People are picking. I think people are picking. I think people are smarter than a lot of times that many people give them credit for. They're noticing certain patterns, and that's why, like, if you actually give a coherent argument that can actually explain things in a way, a person's like, okay, I might not get all of that, but that at least makes sense. I can at least like follow the outline. It's like I see a picture. I at least see a house. I know that it's not an elephant. Why? Because it at least has a door and it looks like a house.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm talking about
maybe it is an elephant.
Like stuff like the history eraser button. So if anybody finds something that's like, all right, I always thought about this, or this always stood out to me, it won't leave my brain and stuff like that. You check it out beforehand and go, yeah, no, that's not on topic. Or you check it out and go, oh yeah, that would be a good one. Let's do that.
I think we should watch that Loki series. I haven't really watched any of the Marvel stuff really recently, so I'm but I feel like that was fun.
I stopped at Endgame, and as much as I love that actor and the character, I will not give Disney. I'm not getting Disney Plus. I don't know. I don't want to give them.
No, it's fine. No, it's
And that is a political thing in itself, but also they shoved that into the show as well, so it makes it less interesting when you make something and your agenda is not entertain people. Your agenda is something other than entertain people with your entertainment that you're making. You're doing a bad job.
See, I think I have no idea. I feel like it might be worse than that. I feel like it's very kind of half-assed. Pardon my French, apologies there. See, I feel like the distribution of opinions that we see across the internet and world, I feel like those apply on large scales in many places. I feel like it's kind of the same thing in a lot of these large corporations. You have a whole bunch of people disagreeing. So rather than get something we're wholly focused on doing just this, or we're wholly focused on, we have a message we really want to convey, you get some crazy smashed up thing where nobody would ever go out of their way to self-sabotage something to irk the other person. Then you end up like Game of Thrones, where you get a solution and nobody is happy.
Right? I like nerd fights. Like that's my favorite argument is not stupid stuff. The geek fights is my favorite hero. Beat up your hero, and here's why. Which is, I think, why we now have shows that do all the math is specifically so that here I can prove that my favorite hero can beat up yours. Here's the math. Suck
we just need to keep on doing Goku versus Superman. We need to replicate the results of the Wizard Comics poll. I understand. I'm like a fan of Goku, but it's like I understand how they go through it. I'm like,
but I think us picking apart like these older cartoons and this and that, is like that because we're sitting there talking about a history eraser button. Anybody in the chat could be like, nah, wouldn't it be like this because XYZ? And that's fun because you're like, I don't know. Let's do the math, or the equivalent of math. Let's figure it out. Or
we're arguing over fandom.
Right? A back and forth argument over fandom that is not an argument of, this is so powerful. An argument about politics in the fandom because that's the only.
No.
It's the only geek fights.
If you avoid the SJW of I'm going to root my argument in politics, you can do that. You have the right to be an SJW. I'm just saying.
I feel like that's a completely different geek fight, and neither person in the fight sounds like they're an actual fan.
No. You're talking. You're promoting a political message through media. So then you can always justify and say, no, I'm just talking about the media with this franchise because I'm a fan, rather than saying it's a straight up political opinion. And that's a lot easier to say. It's a lot less dangerous rather than just being political. So now you at least might expose your idea to other folks that aren't very political, so you may actually have traction rather than getting instantly stomped by the standard political folks. See, at least that's what I heard from some folks. It's like, no, it's much easier if you have an agenda to push. Yeah, no, you push it through media and stuff like that. Because if you're just a political person, it's like, well, everybody knows that's nasty. Let's get a degree of separation. It's kind of like, why does South Park still exist? Because it's totally drawn kids saying terrible things. If you made them adults, show wouldn't have lasted as long. If you drew them much better, probably wouldn't have lasted. It was that combination of degrees away from actual humanity that's like, we are just willing to accept this, but a lot of people will still complain.
Oh yeah, there's still going to be complaints, but there always will be. But yeah, no, I miss the original kind of geek fights where no matter what and how intense it gets, everybody is having fun. And everybody's still friends at the end. They're not freaking drawing lines in the sand. Obviously you hate me because you don't agree with me, or you hate this or that because you don't agree. And it's like, nah, dude, I just really like this character and I really think he'd whoop your ass. I think the history button would do this because of this. That's so fun. Let's do that.
And that's why people like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, because it's fun. You can just beat the crap out of your friends, and it's like, who cares? Because it's in a video game. Why? Because we can.
Is the amount of shit that adults talk while playing those really cute looking games is atrocious. It's great.
So, we're all going to hell, and Fizz and Piper's stuff and things are in the link below, and we will actually end the show this time. But Fizz, final words?
Well, I think I already said some. I should probably stop saying final words now.
You finally flipped.
I just love that clip, but remember, no monster girls were hurt in the making of this broadcast.
I'm broken. You broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys? You guys! Gangnam Style.